making somebody's life better. It may be producing a better product, it may be relieving someone's pain or their stress, maybe creating laughter or joy for someone. But whatever the case may be, the irreducible fact, it all comes down to making somebody's life better. My name is Davlin. I'm from San Antonio, Texas, and in 1990 I actually set a Guinness World Record spinning 12 basketballs in my body at the same time. I've used my talents and abilities to entertain, to travel across the nation for the past 25 years, to speak and to inspire people to greatness, to excellence. Everybody's here to do something incredible. And I think it's so important for them to understand what they were created to do and what they were created to be. What are you passionate about? If you could do anything you wanted to do and you knew you could not fail, what would it be? We all have the ability to achieve excellence in any area that we want. And more important than that is that we all have the opportunity to make a difference. I don't want to be at the end of my life when I look back and go, wow, I could have done more, I could have been more. Folks, you have been blessed with an opportunity to affect somebody else's life, to make a difference for somebody else. Will you do it?
Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Davlin.
Thank you so much for letting me come and spend this time with you guys today. My name is Dave Davlin. I'm from the great state of Texas, beautiful city of San Antonio. Anybody been to San Antonio before? All right, a lot of people. I just returned from Las Vegas. I had the privilege of opening up for the legendary Miss Celine Dion. Yeah, she was coming to the hotel. I got to open the door and let her walk through. I grew up in a small town in Texas, really small. I'm not ashamed for being a small town, but I will tell you it had its disadvantages. In San Antonio, kids go for ice cream. They go to Baskin-Robbins, 31 flavors. My hometown, same old three, vanilla, chocolate, and Skol in my town. But I learned a lot from growing up in a small town, and what I learned is this. People from the small towns, they think and they act and they react differently, a little bit different than people from the city. I'm not saying one is better or worse, but it's different. I'll give you an example. My mom grew up in that small town, never left there. She was just small town her whole life. One weekend, I bring a friend home from Texas A&M to play golf. We're going to play golf Saturday morning, so Friday night, this guy is coughing like crazy. Saturday morning, get ready to go play golf. I look in the living room. My mom is medicating this guy, but she's not giving him cough syrup. Oh, no. My mom is giving this guy a laxative. So I pulled her in my room. I said, Mom, what are you doing? She said, well, he had a bad cough. He wanted to know if I could help him. I said, yeah, but you gave him a laxative. She said, I didn't have any cough syrup. I said, Mom, you know a laxative won't help his cough. She said, sure it will. I gave him 3 times the dosage. Now he'll be afraid to cough. And he was. Well, today I want to share with you a little bit from my presentation, the game-winning 3, but I also would like to have some fun with you guys. They told me you were a fun group, and so I need someone to come help me real quick for a little fun demonstration here. And they gave me a lady that said would be really bubbly by the name of Erin from IMT. Give Erin a big hand. Make her feel welcome. Here she comes. Come on up, Erin. All right, Erin, come right here for me. Thank you for volunteering so freely. Yeah, come right up here for me. Nice to meet you, Erin. And where are you from?
IMT. I live in Des Moines.
Des Moines. Okay, Erin, stay right here for me. Erin, because you came to help me, I brought you something very, very special. Believe it or not, Erin, I brought you a container of Snack Pack chocolate pudding. Well, don't get over emotional about it or anything, all right? And you know, whenever I do this, somebody always accuses me of not using real pudding, so I'm going to prove it today. I'm going to take the top off this. I need an honest lady with an honest face. Okay, any lady would work for this, all right? Man, would you help me out here? What is your name?
Yeah, Tina.
Tina, just hold it between your thumb and finger. Tina, this is the important part. Don't mess this up. Just taste it and make sure it's real. Is that the real stuff?
Real stuff.
That's what the lady from the last presentation said. I used that same top for her. Now, Erin, hold this right here for me. Erin, if I totally needed you to, could you eat that without a spoon?
Probably.
You could? We'd love to see that. Go ahead, Erin. I'm just teasing. I just happened to have brought with me today a spoon. Now, Erin, believe it or not, I'm going to take one of these basketballs right here. I'm going to spin it right here on the tip of the spoon. I'm going to feed you the pudding. All you have to do is just eat. That's all you got to do. And I want to dedicate this song to some special people today. This song goes out to all the ladies here who can remember the 70s and the 80s. You'll remember this song. Got that one for me? No? It was going to be Brick House. All right, here we go. All right, you ready?
Success comes.
One more. There you go. All right, give her a big hand, everybody. That's Erin. Wait, I got something for you. Stay right here. Now, Erin, you did such a great job today at eating the chocolate pudding. I have a very special surprise just for you.
Okay.
Something I'm sure Erin will grow to cherish for the remainder of her life. It's a picture of me. It's a very special picture, Erin. You take this, put it in your room where the whole world can see it, and I promise you, you won't have any roaches in your house, all right? There you go. Give her a big hand, everybody. That's Erin. 6 months. First basketball league in which I ever played in as a kid had a great name. Get this, it was called Little Dribblers. Great name for a kid's basketball league. But on my team in the 4th grade was my best friend. My best friend's name was Paul Allen. He was the tiniest 4th grader I've ever seen in my whole life. In fact, Paul was supposed to be in 5th grade. But because he was so small, his parents put him back a whole year. He was still the tiniest in 4th grade. The reason I knew how much Paul weighed, I was going to the nurse's office to get my height and weight tested. Paul was coming out. As we passed each other in the hallway, I said, Paul, what did you weigh? 4th grade, supposed to be in 5th grade. Paul Allen weighed a whopping 40 pounds. Little bitty guy, very short, very thin, but he was a daredevil. He would try anything. But because he wasn't very big and very strong, Paul was not a very good basketball player. But Little Dribblers had a rule. Rule said this. It said every kid on the team had to play at least one full quarter of every game, or your team would lose that game by forfeiting the game. Little Dribblers had their rule. We came up with our own rule. Our rule was called the Paul Allen rule. Paul Allen rule said put Paul Allen in the first quarter. They will give us 3 quarters left over to try to catch back up on the score. That was the Paul Allen rule. We're in 2nd place playing the 3rd place team. If we beat this team, we get to move on and play for the championship. So we're all excited about this game. Well, on my team were about 3 or 4 guys that usually scored most of the points, and I happen to be one of those guys, but I got to tell you, this was my worst game of the whole year. In fact, I fouled out this game. I didn't foul out in the 4th quarter, didn't foul out in the 3rd quarter. I fouled out in the 2nd quarter. I was hacking everybody. I fouled the referee a couple of times. I was fouling everybody. Well, the team depended on me, so all these kids started going, what's going to happen now? Who's going to check in? Are we going to win the game? We get to play for the championship. Coach said, everybody just stop. And he looked down at the end of the bench, and there was sitting Mr. 40-pound Paul Allen. Already played his quarter. He wasn't even concerned about the game. Coach looked down and he said, Paul. Now remember, Paul had this look on his face like, what do you want with me? I already played my quarter. He said, hey, we need you. You go check in. And all the kids on my team started going, wait a minute, Coach, wait, Paul's already played a quarter. We could still win this. Don't put him back in. Anybody but Paul, don't put him in. Coach said, I got this. Paul, we need you. Go check in. And I saw this look come over Paul's face like I'd never seen before. I don't think he'd taken a shot the whole year. I know he hadn't scored a point all year, but that game, Paul Allen became like somebody new. He was dribbling between people, through people, around people, and that game, Paul Allen scored 13 points, and we won the game because of Paul Allen. We got to go play for the championship because of Paul Allen. He was our hero. We carried him off the floor on our shoulders, which was no big deal. He only weighed 40 pounds. But he was our hero for one reason, because the head guy in charge, our coach, looked down and said, you are important. And that changed everything for Paul. Isn't it amazing what people can and will do when they know that somebody believes in them? It's like magic. I had someone like that in my life. Best friend I ever had knew me before I ever knew her. Shortly after I was born, she took me, my mom, and my sister into her home because we had no place to go. My father deserted us, and we had no place to go, and she took us in. She was a school teacher. Taught me to read before I ever got to school. I don't know how they do it here, but in Texas, we have these things called achievement tests. They have all fancy names. They're just called achievement tests when I was a kid. 2nd grade, I took an achievement test, and my reading level came back as a 6th grader in the 9th month of development. I found out later on why. Because I'm a genius. No, it wasn't that. It was because she read to me every night. As I grew older, she became more than just a friend. She became a role model. She taught me about integrity. She taught me about honesty, and she made me believe I could be successful in whatever I chose to be. And everything good and positive I've ever done in my whole life, her spirit was in the shadows, supporting me, encouraging me, and cheering me on. She was a real friend. She was also my grandmother. She passed away in 1996, but the things she instilled in me as a young boy, they still live on. She believed in me, and that's a large portion of what I do today. Folks, you want to make the biggest difference possible? You believe in somebody, and even more, you get them to believe in themselves. When you came in today, I was doing another event, so I came here kind of late. I think you guys probably got this, but you probably received a bookmark. On top of that book is a picture of my book called The Game-Winning 3, which is based on the person you become, the memories you create, and the difference you make. Under that it says, what will be your legacy? And there's 4 questions that we all have to ask and answer with our lives. Will you be remembered? Will your name be mentioned in somebody's testimony? Did you make a difference? And were you a hero to someone else? You see, folks, life is a lot like the end of a basketball game. When there's 2 seconds on the clock and you need that game-winning 3 to win the game. The only difference is in basketball, it always seems to happen at the end. In life, it happens throughout the entire journey. Either way, we all only get one shot. It's up to each of us to make it count. Thanks for listening today. God bless you guys.
Thank you, Dave and Wilson.